Coronavirus causing collapse in demand for fossil fuels while renewables make major gains, according to major global report.
Here's a summary of the article.
Global energy demands are set to plunge amid the worst shock to the sector in 70 years due to the coronavirus crisis, with fossil fuels on course for a historic decline and renewables set to gather greater momentum, according to the world's energy watchdog. The International Energy Agency said the world's CO2 emissions are expected to fall by 8% this year as a result of the pandemic, which has shut down much of the global economy and caused a collapse in energy demand 7 times greater than the decline after the 2008 global financial crisis. This is a historic shock to the entire energy world. Amid today's unparalleled health and economic crises, the plunge in demand for nearly all major fuels is staggering, especially for coal, oil and gas. Only renewables are holding up during the previously unheard-of slump in electricity use, said IEA Executive Director Dr. Fatih Birol. The agency found each month of worldwide lockdown at the levels seen in early April reduced annual global energy demand by about 1.5%. The result of the energy demand slump, particularly the declines in coal and oil use, mean global energy-related CO2 emissions are set to fall almost 8% in 2020, to their lowest level since 2010. Charlie Cronick, oil finance advisor to Greenpeace UK, told The Independent the impacts of coronavirus on the energy sector can help the world prepare for the numerous systemic shocks the climate crisis is causing. Richard Black, director of the Energy and Climate Intelligence Unit, said the crisis could be a turning point for adoption of renewable energy.
This post received a score of 38,000, with an upvote ratio of 93%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Dr. Birol said, resulting from premature deaths and economic trauma around the world, the historic decline in global emissions is absolutely nothing to cheer. If the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis is anything to go by, we are likely to soon see a sharp rebound in emissions as economic conditions improve. But governments can learn from that experience by putting clean energy technologies, renewables, efficiency, batteries, hydrogen and carbon capture, at the heart of their plans for economic recovery.
People shouldn't compare this to '08, it's not at all the same. Many business can't just come back, maybe for a year or more, and by then many will be out of business completely. This is a royal mess unlike anything we've ever seen before. The public voices are largely not acknowledging how bad this is going to be.
Right you are. 2008 was about math not adding up just enough to start a cascade. As unprecedented the intervention was, the underlying churn in the economy was more or less untouched. This current crisis is responsible for the hard stop and the simultaneous atrophy of whole industries and their whole supply chains. They won't just spring back into existence as if nothing happened. You can't just restore all that lost capacity with a snap of the fingers. It's not even remotely in the same ballpark as 2008.
80% reduction in periodic revenues meant I was breaking even, but not doing well enough to keep people working. My friends who kept pushing with their culinary careers and businesses have said it took around 18 months for things to get back to a relatively normal state, but they still had work even if in reduced amounts. When people don't have work, they don't have money. When they don't have money they can't spend on business. When business has zero revenues they can't pay people to work. It takes a long time to come back from a systemic breakdown like that, and business can't be expected to hire anyone if there is no work for them to pay people to do.
And probably 50+% of all eligible Americans still haven't gotten my stimulus check, and the site is still giving me the payment status not available bullshit. But somehow, small businesses with billionaire CEOs got their share in less than a week, and were under no pressure, obligation not to cut jobs in doing so. This administration is about on par with banana republic dictatorships.
I almost feel bad that I got mine in the first wave of checks for my state. I still have a job, none of my friends do.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.